What if I told you this strategy has the potential to increase engagement and collaboration in the classroom? Today, we will introduce collaborative conversations using collaborative conversation mats. Collaborative conversations is one of the 5 high-yield strategies teachers can use to build engagement with accountability, scaffold learning, and provide structure and routine for students to analyze information through collaboration. The color and number system allows for seamless transitions between different grouping strategies, from pair share to table groups to jigsaw activities. By establishing these routines and combining them with supports like graphic organizers and sentence starters, you create an environment where all students can participate meaningfully in discussions. Let's look at this strategy in action.
We are going to be reading the articles from yesterday again and sharing the information that we got for the pros and the cons using collaboration conversation mats and the sentence frames. Okay, so make sure that you have those out, ready to use. Okay, so the goal is at your table, you are going to be sharing one piece of evidence with your elbow partner. So go ahead and look at your elbow partner. That way you know who is your elbow partner. If you don't have an elbow partner, you can go ahead and share elbow partners because I know sometimes we are in groups of 3s. Okay. So you're going to either share the pro that you collected or the con that you collected for AI in the education. All right, we're going to start off with the odd number first. So if you're an odd number, that means if you're a 1, 3, or a 5, you're going to share first. And then if you're an even, you're going to share next. So that means if you're a 2, 4, or a 6. Okay, you each will get 1 minute to share that piece of evidence that you have collected. Okay, if you go through all your first piece of evidence, and go ahead and share another piece of evidence. If you're a little lost and like, how do I get started with sharing this piece of evidence? You do have your collaboration sentence frames in the back. If you look at the starting a conversation, there's things like one advantage of AI in education is that blah, 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 right? Or one pro, or one drawback, one con of AI. So if you're kind of stuck of like, how do I get started with this conversation? That's a good place to look at. Okay, so when I say go, my odds are going to start first. Go.
Notice how the organization of the mats helps guide students to their pair share partner, and how the teacher holds students accountable by telling them who should be talking first and how long they have to share. When you are intentional and give students structured guidance with set times, you help create a sense of urgency. As the teacher moves around the classroom, the teacher knows exactly who should be talking until they switch partners. This structure helps the teacher to quickly hold students accountable for sharing the information.
All right, that's time that we're going to go ahead and switch. Now my evens are going to go ahead and share. You get another minute to go ahead and share. Go.
After both partners have had an opportunity to share, the teacher can check for understanding and hold students responsible for the information they've gained by calling on a number or color from each table to share with the entire class. If time does not allow for 6 to 8 students to share, the teacher can utilize other parts of the mat as time permits. Let's go back to the classroom to watch how this teacher follows through with the sharing time by calling on students to share.
So now I'm going to have one person from each group share out. Okay, so you're not going to share out what you said, though. You're going to share what you heard your elbow partner say. So if you're red, I'm going to have you go ahead and share out for each table. So let's go ahead and get started with my hearts. If you're red at the hearts table, go ahead and share what you heard. And you can use this sentence from here. My partner shared a pro, or my partner shared a con for AI in education. The pro or the con is, and then share it out loud. So go ahead. That would probably be, okay, go.
My partner shared a pro for AI in education. A pro of AI is AI can quickly provide assistance to anyone needed.
Okay, excellent. All right, let's go ahead and have my moons. Somebody at my moons, go ahead and share. Go ahead, Serenity.
The mats also have a built-in structure for easy collaboration of students from other table groups. Think of a jigsaw activity. Notice you will see the teacher break her students into groups using the number system on the mats. Students will now have the opportunity to work with different sets of students and bring back the information for their original table group. This is a great place to also integrate language commitments like graphic organizers and sentence starters. Since the structure of the mats have already been taught, you will see an easy transition from one group to the next. Like all classrooms, you may have students who need to be reminded of the expectations when moving groups.
All right, guys, very nice. Okay, now we're going to get actually into our jigsaw group. So collect your items. Don't go yet. Wait till I say go. You will get 30 seconds to move to that table group with your jigsaw group. Make sure you have your pencils and your packets. All right, so go ahead and go.
When whole group verbal reminders are not enough, we see that the teacher is shadowing one of her students to their group to make sure there's an easy transition.
Eli, do you know where to go? He remembered. All right, excellent.
To help facilitate the group work, the teacher has provided them with a graphic organizer to fill out when they're with their number group.
So in your jigsaw groups, you're going to take turns reading one piece of evidence that you wrote. Okay, you're going to start with the person seated closest to the 1, right? So if you don't have a 1, then obviously it would be number 2, if not number 3, 4, and so forth, okay? You're going to go around the table sharing one piece of evidence. I would try to share one that somebody else hasn't shared. If they have already, you can say, I also had that piece of evidence. Again, if you're stuck, we do have the conversation pieces that you can refer to. So if you don't know how to get started with those conversations. The goal is that during these 5 minutes, you're going to make sure that everybody at your table has those 3 pieces of evidence. Because when you go back to your original groups, you are individually in charge of making sure that everybody else has the piece that you have at your table. Okay, so if somebody at your table doesn't have an evidence, go ahead and share that with them so they have that on there. Okay, so you will get 5 minutes. Go ahead and get started. You guys all got a chance to share all of them? Yeah. I like that. I like that you guys didn't stop at 1. You guys continue going with the second piece, third piece of evidence. Very nice.
If you want to maximize instructional time, you must take the guesswork out of who should be talking when they return to their table group. There is a routine for coming back to their table groups.
Okay. So now that you've shared, you're going to actually go back to your original group and you're going to go ahead and share the information you've collected. So again, when I say go, you're going to get 30 seconds to get back into those groups. Okay, go.
Once they are back to their table group, they know the expectation is to wait for further directions. This is where the teacher can give students guidance on how they will share the information they are bringing back from their number group. For students who are unsure of how to start sharing their information, they have been provided with sentence starters.
All right. So now that you are in your groups, you are going to be sharing what you wrote for your pros or the cons, depending on what section you had. And you're going to make sure that every group member has that piece of information. Remember, the whole point of a jigsaw is that you put it together and now you have all 4 pieces. Okay, when you start, you're going to start actually this time in reverse. So if you're at 6, you will go first. If there's no 6 at your table, then you will start with 5. If not 5, then 4. Okay, and then you'll go in reverse with the numbers, sharing out loud first what you have on your paper, and then taking a moment to go ahead and copy down or write down what you hear from your partner's share for those pros and cons. Okay? Like once again, if you need a way to start just conversations, you do have those conversation pieces in the back. Okay? So I will be giving you guys about 20 minutes. I might stop you. I probably will stop you 3 minutes before just so that we can collect any papers. If you do finish, don't try to give me the papers. Remember, I will have somebody at each table go ahead and collect, okay? All right, go ahead and get started.
Once the activity is done and students are ready to turn and work, the mats also provide the structure for general routines and procedures. Notice how the teacher calls on a number so that one student is responsible for collecting all the papers and turning them in for their group.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and collect. So, if you're an orange, you're going to be in charge of collecting papers. Now, there's 2 oranges at your table, then it's going to be the orange number 4. So if you're an orange number 4, go ahead and grab everybody's papers and go ahead and turn them into the back. And you guys can go ahead and start packing up.
So where do you begin using these collaborative conversation mats? Once the structure of the mats has been taught to students using the video below, you can easily use collaborative conversation mats for pair share, face partner work, table group collaboration, and jigsaw learning by splitting the class in half or fours. You can also find a printable copy of the collaborative conversation mats that match your specific table configuration using the link here. As you can see, collaborative conversation mats provide a clear structure that maximizes instructional time while keeping students engaged and accountable. Remember, the key to success is teaching the structure explicitly, maintaining clear expectations, and providing the scaffolding your students need. With these strategies in place, you'll find that collaborative conversations become a fun and effective way to deepen student learning through structured discussion.